Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where I will be crocheting it forward in this video by showing you how to make my giraffe pattern or applique. This is great, it's easy. It's great to put at the corner of a blanket like a C2C or a granny or a ripple. It's super cute and I can't wait to share it with you. Okay, so the materials you're going to need are approximately 6 colors. You're going to need a color for your skin, for your spots, for your cheek, your eyes. The nostrils are going to be the same, as well as your toes and leg line. The mouth area needs to be a different color and your horns need to be a different color. So approximately 6 colors, and I just use scrap yarn, any color you want. You might need some stick pins to hold the spots in place. You're going to need some scissors. You're going to need a sewing needle, and for this one I'm making a smaller one. This was made with a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook, also known as a letter H, and for this one I used a 4.0 millimeter letter G for this video because I needed a smaller one. So let's get started. Okay guys, you want to grab your 4.0 millimeter hook, letter size G. My other giraffe was made in a 5.0 H hook, but it's totally up to you. It just depends how big you want your giraffe. I'm making a blanket right now and I need my giraffe to be a little bit smaller. So first thing we're going to do is get a slip knot, get our yarn on our hook, and we are going to chain 16 loosely because coming back we are going to be working in the back loop. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. In the back loop are these loops right here. Once you turn your the front side of your chain down, you'll really see those back loops. And then this just calls for a smoother foundation chain. So we're going to just go into our first bump, pull up our loop, and make a single crochet. And then single crochet all the way to your first chain. Generally after you've made the first couple of back bump single crochets, your chain will just stay that way, so you can excuse me so you can visibly see the back bumps. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So you should end up with 15 single crochets coming back. Okay, and for every time you turn your work, you're going to pull up your loop right here and then just turn your work and then insert your hook from the side. That way your yarn is not twisted and you're going to end up with a very neat, very clean and crisp side. So from here we're going to make 9 single, that was the first one, so we're going to make 8 more single crochet rows of 15 each. So go ahead and do that, and you always go with the first one. You're not going to skip one, we're not going to chain one. That's 3. And I'm going to go ahead and finish, and I'm going to do this for a total of 9 rows, and I will meet you back. Okay, so I'm finishing up my last single crochet on my 8th row. I just want to show you, be sure that you're going through both loops at the end. It's easy to miss that one. Sometimes you just have to turn it sideways to see that V. And then just be sure you're going through both. Okay, so now we're going to turn, and in our 9th row we're only going to single crochet up to the 7th stitch. So in that same stitch is our first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then from here we're going to pull up our loop and go back, because now we're making the neck. Neck is going to be 16 rows. So again, just like we did the body, we're just going to go ahead and just only go up to 7 stitches and do 7 single crochets in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make sure you're going through both of those loops right there. 7. Pull up a loop. We're still doing our sides the same. You see how nice they are and how nice they look. So do that for a total of 16 rows, and I will meet you back. Okay guys, I just finished my 15th row, and I'm going to do my 16th row. And I've pulled up my loop, so going into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I know you're thinking, oh gosh, this neck is really long. Well, not really, because we're going to turn it sideways and use these 6 rows for the profile of our giraffe's face. So once you turn it this way, you want to turn it to your left. You want to turn single crochet. No, we're going to single crochet 8. So in that same stitch, we're going to do one more. That counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. Pull up our loop, turn our work, and then go back in that same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've done 2 rows. Go ahead and do 4 more, and I will meet you back. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is attach do our front legs here. So I've just detached here, cut off, did my rows here for the face, and now I'm coming down the chest into the body. We're going to do the 2 front legs, and that's going to consist of 6 rows of 7 single crochets. So we're going to attach right here in the corner, slip stitch. Okay, go back in that same stitch and make a single crochet. That's our first single crochet. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to do 7 for the front legs, do 6 rows, we're going to leave a space, and then we're going to do another 7 because our body consisted of 15 single crochets. So all we're going to do is again lift our yarn, go in from the side, and then continue doing 6 rows of single crochet for the front legs. 6 rows of 7 single crochets, okay? And I will meet you back. Okay, once you have your 6th row done, we're just going to chain 1 and fasten off, and then go back to our front side and do our back pair of legs, set of legs. Again, get a slip knot, skip that 1 stitch, so there's a division there between the legs, and make 7 single crochets. 1, oops, I slip stitch and I didn't go in there. So we're gonna slip stitch and then go ahead in that same stitch and make your first single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, your 7th stitch is your last one. Okay, and then again we're just going to repeat like we did with the first leg. And I know these legs look short right now, but we're going to attach like black for like the feet, so we do have a couple rows more to extend those. And then we're just going to go back in and repeat. This is row 2 on the back set of legs. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So do that for another 4 rows for a total of 6, so you're matching the front, and I will meet you back. Alright, so I just finished up my 6th row on my second set of legs, the back legs. So I'm just going to chain 1 and fasten off, and at this point we're going to go ahead and sew in our ends. Okay, so once you get your ends sewn in, we want to grab the color that we're going to use for our mouth. And I'm going to use this tan, but I just want to point out, be sure that you're sewing in your ends on the back side, because I wasn't paying attention and I started sewing in the ends on the front. So yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. So, you know, be sure that like it should, the way the pattern is set up, his like, since I'm facing it, his head is and mouth is going to be facing left. So just want to point that out so you don't make the same mistake I did. So at this point we're going to grab our mouth color, and again I'm using just a tan. Get a slip knot, and we're going to start to the top right of the face, and we're going to attach, and we're going to do 2 rows of 8 single crochets, and we're going to decrease. Okay. So we're going to slip to join. Okay. Be sure I'm in the camera. Okay, and then single crochet, 1 single crochet. Oh, we're going to do 8 first. So let's go right back in there and make a single crochet, and then we're just going to make 8 single crochets across. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have our 8. We're going to pull up our loop, turn our work, and then insert our hook from the side. Checking them in the camera here, and then now we're going to do decreases. So decreases are 2 single crochets at once. So we're going to yarn up, yarn over. No, we're not going to yarn over. We're just going to insert our hook into the same stitch, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook. Go into your next stitch, pull up a loop. You'll have 3. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through both. All 3, I mean. And we're going to keep doing that. Next one, pull up a loop, 2 on your hook. Next stitch, pull up a loop, 3 on your hook. Yarn over and go through all 3 of those. Yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And then our last one, same thing. Pull up a loop, last stitch. And that might be a little challenging because we have that slip in there. You got 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Do the same, go backwards, and we're going to do the same. We're going to do a 2, the next 2, 1, 2, and then the last 2. There you have your mouth part. We're going to chain 1 and fasten off. You see how that points out a little bit? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, and I went on ahead and sewed in my ends because those ends drive me crazy. If you want to wait till the end of your project to do that, that's up to you, but I'm just going to stop after each part that we do and just go ahead and do that. We're going to do the giraffe ears. So now what we want to do is get to our corner right here to your right. we are going to slip to join. Okay, and then we are going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My yarn separated there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in the second chain from your hook we're going to make 1 single crochet. Oops, that's not it. This is it. So 1 single crochet, and in the next stitch a half double crochet, and a half double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, that should bring you back to the body. We're going to skip this next stitch and slip stitch into this one, and then slip stitch 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay, and after that 4th one, we're going to go ahead and repeat what we did with this here. So we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to single crochet in the second chain from your hook. We're going to make a half double crochet in the next chain, a half double crochet in that next chain. That brings us back to the body. We're going to skip a stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch. Okay, and then we're going to chain 1 and fasten off. I'm going to go ahead and sew in those ends, and we'll come back and we will do his horns. Okay, so we've sewn in our ends, and I've grabbed my color for my horns, and we're going to go into that first stitch to the left of the right ear. I'm going to slip stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in that same stitch. Okay, now we're going to make 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please make them loosely. On that 5th one, you want to pull up a loop, and at this point we're going to yarn over 3 times. Yarn over, go in that stitch, pull up a loop, don't finish, yarn over, go in that same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go in that same stitch, and pull up a loop. You should have 7 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to yarn over and go through all of them. Okay, that's going to give us a little bulb at the top of his horn. Okay, and then we're going to turn our work, and in this space right here, right underneath the bulb right here, there's a space. That is where we're going to slip stitch to close that bulb up. It's also known as the popcorn stitch, I believe. Okay, with the slip stitch. Now what we're going to do is turn our work back. We're going to single crochet all the way back down in the chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, now what we're going to do is slip stitch, 1, 2, and then we're going to single crochet in that next stitch. And then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull up this loop a little loose, and then we're going to yarn over 3 times and pull up a loop. 1. Oh. See, if you don't do it tight, if you don't pull that up loosely, you won't be able to get back in there. So yarn over, pull up a loop once, yarn over, pull up a loop twice, yarn over, go in your stitch, pull up a loop. You should have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we're going to yarn over and go through all of them. Might have to wiggle your hook a little bit like I am. Turn our work, and in that space right underneath the bulb we are going to slip stitch. You might have to put your yarn up on top to do that. Okay, I'm going to turn our work back and make 4 single crochets in each chain all the way back down. 1, 2, 3, oh I'm sorry, it was 5 single crochets, 4, and then right there, that last one is going to be in your single crochet. This is going to be a little tedious. I'm not even going to try to fabricate that. And then we're just going to slip stitch in that next stitch, chain 1, and then cut our yarn. Okay, and then there you have his horns. Aren't they cute? Little bulbs up there on top. So I'm going to go ahead and sew in my ends, and let me see what's the next thing we're going to do is his tail. So I will meet you back. Okay, so I've sewn in the ends at the back. We have our ears done, and for his tail we're going to take 2 colors, and the 2 colors that I'm choosing are the ones that I'm going to put the spots and then the skin color to give it like a little, you know, different kind of blended look. So grab your 2 colors, the skin color and whatever color you're going to use for the spots, and then we're going to just chain 8, I'm sorry. So we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, lost a color, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to go ahead and slip to join on your piece. Then we're going to chain 1. Okay. So now we have our tail, and all I did for the fringe part of the tail, I'm going to sew these ends in, but depending how long you want your fringes, like on this one I just did maybe like, I don't know, 1.5 inches. It just depends. You don't have to have fringes if you don't want to. I'm just going to tie this in a knot just to secure it. But all I did was just take my needle from the top, starting from the tail, from the braid, and then just work my way down. And that'll give you, just separating the strands, that'll give you a little fringy look. You can keep doing it. You know, like I said, that's totally up to you. But that's how you get the fringe look. I'm going to go ahead and sew in this end. What I'm probably going to do is just come back around here and then sew it into this tail. And I will meet you back. Okay, so what I ended up doing is sewing the white strand, the yellow strand in with the yellow. And then I took the orange strand and worked it in throughout here and fringed that out too. Now I'm just going to trim it. Works for me. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is do our feet. So grab your black. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get a slip knot. And 3 single crochets, 1 single 3 for 4 rows. All right. Oh, I see what we're doing. Okay, so we have 7 stitches here, so we're going to make, first we're going to attach, make sure I'm in the camera here, slip, and then we're going to make a single crochet in that same one. 1, 2, 3, then we're going to slip stitch in that 4th stitch. Okay, and then we're going to make 3 more single crochets, because remember we have 7 stitches on our legs. 2, 3. We're going to do this for, pull up our loop, go on the side, turn. We're going to do this for 3 rows. So again, single crochet in that same stitch. Sorry, this is black and you can't really see it. 2, 3. We're going to single crochet or slip stitch, and that's going to be a little challenging. So when you slip on these stitches, just try to do it loose, and then we're going to single crochet 3 in a row. Okay, pull up a loop, insert from the side, turn our work, and then this is our last row. 3 single crochets in a row. 1, 2, 3, and then our slip stitch, and then just try your best to get it wherever you can. I know it's challenging. And then last 3 single crochets. Okay, chain 1, got our work, and what that does is it puts a little indentation in here, so it looks like, because we're going to come back and put a line in here like we did right here, so it looks like the 2 feet are together and the 2 back feet are together. Okay, so go ahead and do this for this side, sew in your ends, and I will meet you back. Alright, so we have our ends sewn in for our feet, and right now we're going to go ahead and do this, what I call the leg line, and that's just going to be a chain of 6, and you want to leave enough on your ends to sew it in. So what we're going to do is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I always chain 1 because we need that extra one, and then leave yourself enough yarn to sew that in, and then we grab our hook. I'll do the first leg with you, and then you can do the other one by yourself. And well, actually, you want to go where you had your slip stitches at. It's going to be in that middle stitch where you have your feet. Okay, and then what I like to do is just go ahead and make like a stitch here just to anchor this stitch. Okay, so that's not moving anywhere, and then I can go ahead and anchor this one. Make sure they're straight right here, about 6 rows up. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and take my yarn needle, pull it through, and then start sewing. Start securing it there, and you just sew down, and you know, in a stitch, in and out. Really easy. You might want to grab with your 2 fingers right here to the feet so your piece doesn't move, and just go all the way down, and that's going to secure it with both ends. Okay, just like that. So you can go ahead and do that for the other one, and I will meet you. Okay, so excuse me, we have the division, our leg line right here done, and now what we're going to do is I've threaded my needle with black, and I want to put the giraffe's nostrils, and I'm just going to 1, 2, 3 come in and just try to make them as even as possible. They don't have to be very big. They can be as big as you want. You can do it once, you can do it twice. I think I'm going to go in and do it twice. And then coming in 3 on the other side. You know, just eyeball it. Make it as even as possible. I think it gives it such a cute effect. Okay, and then I like to just tie them back here. I'm just going to go ahead and let it keep recording. I'm going to tie it into like 3 knots because this is going to be sewn on, so no one's going to be able to see all the knots and everything that I have on the other side. Fasten off, and then we can move on to our eyelash and closed eye. So I'm trying to see where I put it. So I would think they would go down, let's see, I think I went 1, 2, 3, 4 and did the slanted. Went down four rows from your horn to the left, and then just try to leave this a tail here so you can have something to work with. And then I went over 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just did a slant like that. Okay, and then from here you come down here, and you can play with this. I think I had to take this out a couple times because I didn't like the way it looked. I like the eyelashes to come out a little bit. Okay, then we're coming back down here. I think I put 4. Try to make them as even as possible. It's okay if they're not perfect. You know, these are rustic, you know, crochet pieces. I'm going under this line. Okay, and then maybe I'll do one up and down right here. I don't know if that's too much. And then one last one slanted. Right there. And I mean, I want the sleepy effect, so I'm going to come back here and make a whole other, go up again. There. I'm pretty cool with that. Turn it over and tie our ends. Again, I do a 3-knotter, and then I cut my ends, and then I'm gonna go grab my color for my cheek circle and then also my spots, and I will meet you back. Okay, so for my cheek, I just did a magic circle and 8 half double crochets, and that's it. So I'm gonna attach, chain 1, and then 8 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pull that circle tight, real tight, and then slip stitch to the top of your first half double crochet. Okay, chain 1, and then leave enough tail for you to sew that in securely. And we'll go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to work this tail in so it looks like we finished that last stitch. I don't want that poking out. And also, I'm just going to go ahead and tie it to the end that we are going to use for sewing. Working with these little pieces can be so tedious, but you know, it's going to be worth it. And I'm just going to leave a very small tail that I can sew over. Grab my needle. We are almost done, folks. All we need is the spots, and there are 3 sizes, super easy, and I'll show you how to do them. So what I'm doing is I'm folding this back here, so I don't want anybody to be able to see that. I'll probably just put it right there. And then again, we're just going to sew. Super duper easy. Sure, everybody knows how to sew standard. There's no like magic trick to this or anything. I try to make things simple as possible. And then just keep rotating your piece as you secure your little cheek circle. You can go around as many times as you want. think I'm going to go around one more time, maybe a little bit closer to the edge so it's not poking out. And my needle's pretty big, so it's hard to get through these yarns. I don't want it like right under my eye. But I think I don't have any choice there. I'm good with that. So what I like to do is just go in the back, and I know that this is right here, so I can go ahead and make a knot with my needle and not have to worry about anybody seeing that. Go into the next stitch and make another knot, and I'm good with that. So there we have the cheek of our giraffe. So I'm going to go grab the spot color and I'll be back. Okay, so we are going to make 3 different sizes but 6 total spots. See right here on this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can put them anywhere you want. But the first size is going to be a magic circle. We're going to chain 1. Or we're going to slip to join, or however you join. I always chain 1, and then we're going to make 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going to be your smallest spot. Slip to join, first single crochet, chain 1, and leave enough room to sew. Doesn't need to be maybe but 10 inches. So we're going to make another one of those. I'm going to do that off camera. And then the second size, we're going to make them the same with the magic circle. This is how I do mine. I'll slip, chain 1, and we're going to make 8 half double crochets. So yarn over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to make another one of these. Oops, it's not the right one. Again, slip to join at the first half double crochet, leave enough to sew. We're going to make another one of those off camera. And then our biggest spot is going to be a magic circle, chain 2. We're going to make 10 half double crochets, or 10 double crochets. I'm so sorry. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Close that circle up, slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet, chain 1, leave enough to sew, and again we're going to make one of each. So in review, the smallest one is going to be 6 single crochets. The middle one is going to be 8 half double crochets, and the biggest one is going to be 10 double crochets. You're going to make 2 of each. So go ahead and get those done, and I will show you how I put my spots on. Alright, so I have all my spots all done, and I tied the magic circle tails out the way. Now here's where you can use stick pins if you want. Decide where your spots are going to go. I just did them random for my example pattern here. But it's totally up to you. I'll just I think I'm going to do it different this time. I'm just going to go ahead and just so I know that they don't move and stuff, maybe do the smaller ones on the neck. Or even I can even put this one back up here. Make room for the medium-sized ones. You know, it's totally up to you. Crocheter's choice at this point. And then a bigger one over here. Make sure that you can see. Okay. Those tails are going to be challenging. And then maybe one right here. And again, I'm just using these little stick pins. Some of them are bent, but they're still good to use. And maybe one up here by the tail. And the last one back here. I would have to scoot this one then. Something like that. I don't know, I might switch it up, but again, just go ahead and sew them in just like we did this. We're going to do them all like that, exactly like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do mine, and I will meet you back. All right, so I am done with my spots. You see how randomly you just put them anywhere. I just wanted to show you how you can use this pattern to put it on a blanket. I'm working on this granny Afghan blanket, and I'm just going to put it in the corner. I have like about a lot more rows to go, but it's going to come lower and it's going to be there. I thought about maybe putting some hearts or some clouds or even some balloons around. I'm just not sure yet. When I do, when I finish this, I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to upload it as an updated thumbnail for this video. So yeah, there you have it. That is my giraffe pattern. I just want to show you real quick my next pattern. Very similar to this. It's a llama, which you can do the same thing with. Very similar with some differences, not too much. You know, obviously the saddle here and everything else, the ropes and all that, but very cute, very easy. That's going to be my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, like. I love to hear your comments. I really do. I try to keep up on those. Constructive criticism, I take that in. You know, I'm still a work in progress. I appreciate everybody's patience. And please check the information box for any corrections or clarifications. And together, let's continue to crochet it forward. Bye now.